Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's very, very exciting session where we learn about products. We also learn about the business. And I want to welcome everybody. I know we have everybody zooming in from different parts of this world. We have people from all over East Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya. We have people from the US, UK. This is usually a truly an international training that we normally have. And our leaders are ready and they have some very exciting knowledge to share with us. So if you have a pen and paper, please put it close by you. You'll need it so that you can be able to take down some notes. So we are going to start with the product session. Then later we'll have the business session with Pascal Oloo. But like we say in Africa, ladies first, and then men follow. So I want to invite Betty Oloo to take us through the first session. Betty?
Thank you very much, Fred, and welcome everybody. I think Fred has not had the joke we make about that. We say ladies first after the men.
It's a good one.
So anyway, welcome everyone. Thanks very much, Fred, for the intro. And it's once again my pleasure to spend this evening with you. Here in our home in Pretoria, we are delighted to always have this opportunity on a Thursday and a Monday evening to share with you what we are doing, what we have done, and what we have learned in the Neolife business. And if you are a very new distributor, maybe you are attending training for the first time or the first few times, I want to extend you a warm welcome and to ask you to spend this time with us, be open-minded, be ready to learn, because what we share is meant not only for ourselves, but also to go out and change lives. So as you might have seen in your invitation, today my topic on product is going to be detox. As you know, our training is cyclic. We go to the end and then we start again. So we are restarting with detox. We had detox again in January. And I just wanted to make some introductory remarks. The first being that the human body has got inbuilt systems to deal with toxins, which is a good thing because it means that we do not entirely rely on our detox program for detoxification. But the thing is that sometimes our systems might be overwhelmed by toxins. And in such a case, it could be that maybe we are habitually taking in problematic foodstuffs, or we are exposed to particular toxins in our environment, or we are experiencing toxic conditions within our own bodies. So whatever the case might be, the detox has an important part to play in our supplementation regime. And this, we start thinking about it by thinking about maybe mentioning, first of all, the main organs that are involved in detox in our bodies. And this, the first is the liver, which is a very, very important organ that plays a very important role in the detoxification. We also have the kidney and the lungs. But in addition to that, we have got detox that goes on in the gut as well as on our skin. So all these body organs are involved in dealing with toxins and making sure that our body is kept safe. An organ like for example, the lungs is actually self-detoxifying because we know that the lungs are involved in the breathing system. And what they do is that since they have access to the external environment, the lungs are actually able to detox themselves. The only problem is what we ourselves are supposed to do to support the lungs. I'll mention that in a little while. But just to say that when the detox organs are overwhelmed, then of course the body has to do something because the body does not allow the toxins to just float about in circulation. So what our bodies generally do is to keep the toxins in the fatty tissue. And I think I mentioned this when we had the Q&A for weight management, and say that sometimes when we struggle to lose weight, it's because the body is not comfortable to release the fat from the fatty tissue because that is where it's storing certain toxins. So This is a good mechanism that the body uses, because in this way, the toxins are kept out of circulation and away from the important organs, where they might do some serious damage very quickly. So then for that reason, we normally will recommend that we include a detox once or twice a year in our supplementation regime, so that we make sure that our organs are up to par in preventing the accumulation of toxins. Then moving on to some of the points that we can bring up about detox. The first is to mention the most important item of all in detox, and that is clean water. So clean water plays a very important role in detox, because everything in our systems, in our lives, and in the lives of other organisms requires water, and all our reactions within our bodies take place in solution. And so for this reason, water plays a very important role. And we on our part, as part of our lifestyle, should make it a point to ensure that we are well hydrated, that we take in water on a daily basis, adequate amounts of water. However, I don't think that it is useful to state a certain amount of water as the amount required by everyone, because this is quite subjective, depending on where you live, whether it is hot or cold, depending on your own system. Some people require more water than others because they sweat more. Other people don't sweat as much, so they may not get as thirsty as quickly. However, nobody requires zero amounts of water. I know that there are people who don't like to drink water. They don't like the taste of it. But for the sake of our health, I think that this is something that we should ensure that we include in our lifestyle. So an organ, for example, like the kidney, for it to function well, it relies very much on water in order to dilute and eliminate the toxins in the form of urine, for instance. So if we are dehydrated, then of course the kidney, first of all, and also the other detox organs are going to be the first ones to feel the effects of our dehydration. And in fact, the findings are that by the time we are feeling thirsty, we already are well on our way to dehydration. This does not mean that we should just mindlessly drink water, but it does mean that we should make sure that we actually drink enough water and not wait until we are parched with thirst to drink. We should be disciplined in how we take water to ensure that we are adequately hydrated. Another thing that is important for the kidney that I wanted to mention is that it requires a normal blood pressure. And if we have got blood pressure issues, it can actually affect the efficiency with which our kidney operates. So if maybe you've already been diagnosed with a blood pressure that is not within the normal range, then one of the things you can do is address that by lifestyle, as well as using the supplements that we recommend for normalizing the blood pressure. Then another organ that I had started to mention and I want to go back to is the lungs. As we say, the lungs are self-detoxifying, but they require us to help them. One of the ways in which we help our lungs to operate efficiently and to detox themselves efficiently is by exercising. If we exercise, not only very hard exercise, but regular exercise, because the important thing is that we are consistent. We regularly, maybe if it's walking that we are doing, we regularly walk. If it is jogging or swimming, whatever it is that we are doing, this is what helps our lungs to get greater efficiency. And by the breathing that we do when we are exercising fairly vigorously, we are able to ensure that our lungs do not keep stale air. So if we need yet another reason for exercising, then the health of our lungs and the improvement of their ability to detox themselves is another reason why exercise is important for us. Another thing that we should also keep in mind is that our breathing system, I think I mentioned this when we are talking about our respiratory health, the exposure to sunshine in order to ensure that we have enough vitamin D is also important. If we live in places where there isn't enough vitamin D, then we should supplement with it, particularly, as I often say, if we are darker skinned and we are living in the temperate climates, then we may need to supplement with vitamin D. If, on the other hand, we are in the equatorial areas, we can also get plenty of vitamin D by spending some time in the sun. Maybe by exercising outside, we can then kill two birds with one stone. Then for our lungs also, we should look at our air quality, the quality of the air around us, and avoid habits such as tobacco smoke and toxic sprays, because some of the sprays that we use, maybe because we want our house to smell in a certain way, some of them are not actually good for us. So we try to ensure that the quality of the air in our homes and as far as possible in our environment is good. And that way we help the lung to remain effective in its work of detoxing on the side of the breathing system. Then I also wanted to mention the liver. The liver, as I said, is a very important detox organ because it quickly neutralizes any toxins that are found in our system and then sends them in the circulation, maybe through the kidney, to be removed from our bodies. And for this reason, we need to ensure that we support our kidney with our supplements, but also by avoiding things that are going to overwhelm it, like excessive use of alcohol and drugs, as well as excessive intake of junk food. So by not adding these toxins into our bodies, we lighten the load for our kidney. Then we move on to how our Neolife products can actually support our detox systems. And for this reason, Neolife has got a detox program, which comes highly recommended. And I remember some time ago, someone had asked about doing a month-long detox. Rather than doing a month-long detox, it is better to do a periodic detox, maybe once every quarter or twice a year and so on. Because, as I said, the body has got systems for detoxing. What we need to make sure is that the toxins don't accumulate. So it's not necessary to go on long detoxes and keep on going for detox month after month. We can do it a few times a year, or if there are special conditions why we think we might be getting overwhelmed with toxins, maybe we are feeling a bit under the weather, or we have experienced something that might have brought an overwhelming amount of toxins into our systems. So the first product that I would like to mention is one of the ones of which we are proudest, and that is BetterGuard, which was formulated and developed by our leading toxicologist, one of the world's greatest toxicologists, Dr. Arthur Fast, the late, who formulated this product as a way of detoxifying the body of various things, including chemo drugs that are used for chemotherapy. So BetterGuard enables detox by binding to the toxins so that they are less harmful, and in their less harmful condition, they can then be escorted out of our bodies through the excretory system. So I needed to have mentioned before I started that our detox program takes a three-pronged approach. The three prongs are to assist, to promote, and to enable. So, for example, in the case of BetterGuard, it enables the removal of toxins by binding to them, because once the supplements within the BetterGuard binds to them, they become less toxic, and therefore they can be transported in the circulatory system and excreted through the excretory organs. So for that reason, BetterGuard is very important and an important addition to our detox program. And I think I've had periodically people asking whether they can use detox at the same time that they're undergoing chemo, this is not a good idea. We wait until all the sessions of chemo have taken place. Then afterwards is when we can use the beta gut, because of course it is counterproductive to be using a detox at the same time that you are applying chemo to kill the cancer. So what we say is go through the chemo. Once the chemo is done, then we can have the detox afterwards. Then the next product I want to mention is garlic allium complex, which is a preparation of the members of the garlic family that includes garlic itself, as well as other members such as onions, leeks, and so on. These ones are in the assist group. They assist our detox system by acting as poisons for harmful microbes that might be proliferating within our system. Sometimes we have harmful microbes that proliferate within our gut, and they do so either because of the diet that we are taking in, or because we have been overusing certain medicines like antibiotics, which might be decimating our friendly bugs. And that means that as the friendly bugs are reducing in number, the harmful one might advantage and increase. So the garlic allium family helps by poisoning them, the harmful microorganisms such as certain bacteria and fungi. And once they are poisoned, of course, their numbers are reduced. So for that reason, we also recommend garlic allium as a member of our detox program. And then we have the next one is stage 6, which is a herbal preparation that is also part of the assist part of the detox. So they assist the gut in eliminating digestive waste by stimulating the gut to produce secretions that make it easier to pass stool regularly. So this will help, excuse me, in situations where there's, for example, bloating and constipation, or if there is prolonged difficulty in passing stools, so that we end up with compacted stools in the gut. And so stage 6 is important for our detox. If someone is struggling with the regular passing of stools, because if we are eating, we need to also be passing out stools. And so if we notice that this system is not working well, then stage 6 is very important for this. But also, of course, when we are going through detox, we include stage 6 into our detox program to assist in this way. We, however, say that if you're using detox, let's say for regular constipation, then once the system is able to regulate itself, we should discontinue the stage 6. We should not take it continuously as a habit. It is supposed to help us during the time that we are not able to regularly pass out stool. Once we become regular, then we should put it away. Then the next product of the detox is acidophilus and fiber. I say acidophilus and fiber because I know, unfortunately, some of our markets do not have acidophilus, because the acidophilus supplement has to be kept under carefully controlled temperatures, even when it is being transported, to ensure that the friendly microbes that are contained in acidophilus survive until they reach their destination. So for that reason, we are hopeful that in future we are going to be able to supply acidophilus to all the different markets. But if you don't have it in your markets, then I also recommend that we use fiber in its various forms, either as fiber tablets or the fiber blends. And this is because the friendly microbes, of which acidophilus are members, thrive when we have a good spectrum of fibers in our diet. So we take the fiber supplement, and we also look at our diet to make sure that it's not excessively stripped of the fibers. That way, we are going to be able to cultivate the friendly microbes within our guts. And when the friendly microbes are plenty, they keep the unfriendly microbes in lower numbers. And that way, they win the battle for us and help us to sustain our health. So if you have acidophilus, then this is an important addition to our detox. because they help us in ensuring that we have plenty of good microbes to keep away, for example, the microbes that cause us to have problems such as candida or oral thrush and so on. And these friendly microbes also play a very important role in our immune system. So acidophilus, if you do not have acidophilus, then fiber. And I think I mentioned before that by eating some of our traditional foods, we can also increase the population of the friendly microbes with which we have evolved in our guts. And in addition to that, to support the friendly bugs, we should eliminate or keep at a minimum highly refined foods, especially sugar and sugary foodstuffs such as drinks and so on. Then the last but one is multimineral alfalfa, which is a balanced mineral supplement that assists our kidney in detoxing. And these minerals are chelated to ensure that they are well absorbed. And also the minerals are formulated in such a way that they don't react with the contents of our guts and get lost. So we have the different supplements in our multimineral complex, and it plays also an important role in detoxing, as well as, of course, in ensuring that we have enough minerals within our own systems. Then the final product I wanted to mention for our detox is, of course, our home care products, because our home care products are very well formulated. They are non-toxic to our own selves as well as to our environment. And by using them within our home, they minimize any toxic load that might come into our homes and into our environment. Because remember, our environment already will carry very many microbes, very many toxins, like from the medicines that we take, drugs that we use, factory things that are taken out of factories and enter into the environment. All these are going to be there. So by playing our part by using our home care products, we are going to minimize the toxic load in our own homes as well as in our environment. Then I also wanted to mention one or two other points. When someone is unwell or undergoing dialysis, it's not the time to go into a detox, because a detox requires that our body is robust enough to undergo the detoxification. When someone is unwell or when the kidneys are already struggling, it's not really an opportune time to go into detox. So what we would say is that when someone is undergoing dialysis, because I think I had such a question today and a few days ago, it is better that they go through the dialysis. We can give them a low dose of maybe Betagard just to help them along, but not to go into full-blown detox, because the fact that someone is undergoing dialysis means that the kidneys are not operating very well, which means that the body is already under a serious state of being overwhelmed. So rather than add on to this with the detox, it's better to wait until things settle down and the recovery is underway. Then we can see at what point the body is actually going to be able to undergo the detox. Of course, in order to avoid having to use a lot of medication, which is one of the sources of toxins within our bodies, because remember, even medicines are toxins at certain doses. So the important thing here is to ensure that we habitually look after our health. We don't wait until we are sick or until our organs are now overwhelmed in order to start taking care. The best thing to do is to use our standard supplements and to take care that our lifestyle is one that supports good health and not bad health. So for that reason, we say that we do this detox a few times a year as part of our supplementation regime. But we also educate our clients and those within our circle of influence not to wait until things have become very bad. Because sometimes what you find is that when someone has been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease and now needs dialysis is when they come to say, can they do a detox? By that time, the priorities are different. We no longer prioritize a detox. What we want is to try and save the kidneys and to bring them to better health. And I think I mentioned previously that one of the leading causes of kidney problems and even liver problems is when our lifestyle includes unhealthy habits such as eating a lot of junk food and refined things, and also not including exercise in our lifestyle. These are the one, or ensuring that we are active. If we have a sedentary job, then we should always try to compensate by being active. That way, ensuring that our lungs are supported, as well as our livers and our hearts and so on. So by ensuring that we excuse me, ensuring that we support the good health of our detoxification organs, that way we'll not end up in a situation where the organs are now doing so badly that we require external assistance to get on. So I see that my time is running out. I just want to mention once again that there is much we can do to keep our bodies in a good condition of detoxifying itself. But at the same time, periodically, we can undergo the detox so that we lighten the load on our bodies if we see that it is maybe an opportune time to do so. So I want to hand you over to Pascal, but first, let me thank you very much for this time this evening. I hope that you found something that was educational or beneficial, and that you are going to be able to share this with the people who are in your circle of influence. And I want to wish you all the best in this month of August, where here in South Africa is the Women's Month. So I want to recognize all the ladies in the call and encourage you to keep on going out and making a positive difference in the lives of all that you meet. Here is Pascal now ready to take you in the next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Betty. That was detox of the body. Maybe we should talk about detox of the mind. So in the next 20 to 25 minutes, I would like to share a few ideas with you to help you grow your business to the next level, because our business is a very simple business. And what keeps it really going is the simplicity. That's why you have people from completely different backgrounds who can join the business and become very, very successful. So today I want to share with you two things. One is a sponsoring process, and then number two is duplication, because I think those two things are very, very important for the growth and the success of our business. Let's talk about the sponsoring process. What is really sponsoring process? I think the sponsoring process is, first, sponsoring is not an event that you do once. It's a process you go through by getting a prospect, showing them the business, inviting them to see the business, showing them the business, doing a follow-up until they become a distributor in your team. That is a sponsoring process. And I remember when Betty and I started the business, we went to do a nuts and bolts. Our leaders, once a month, used to do a nuts and bolts. That is, they go through everything that covers the building of the business, from name lists, for building dreams, setting goals, inviting people, business opportunity presentations, follow-up, kit opening, building depth, building width, becoming a leader. All those things were packed in a one afternoon from 2 to about 5 to make sure we understand what the business is. And the thing that really stuck in my mind is this W. This W stands for work. And it's the sponsoring process. If you're new in the business, or even if you're old in the business, always have this thing in mind. If you understand this, if you master it, then you'll understand what the sponsoring process is. Sponsoring process means you get somebody who is a prospect, then you invite them to the business by asking them qualifying questions. You show them the business, either one-on-one, or they come for a business opportunity presentation. And after they have watched or seen the business, You do a follow-up until they say, yes, I want to join, or no, I'm not interested, or no, I just want to use the products, because those are the three options. So what does the sponsoring process entail? The sponsoring process entails, first, I would like to suggest that you need to have a long list of people. And the reason for that is this. If you start the business, you write 15 names, and the first 10 people on your list are not interested in the business, you only have 5 more, you start to stress, and then you conclude the business doesn't work. If you had a list of 100 people, and the first 10 people say no, you still have 90 people to speak to. So it's very important to have a long list of prospects that you want to speak to about the business. So the first step of the sponsoring process, sit down and write a list of people that you want to get involved in the business. And there are 3 rules about making a list. Number 1, do not prejudge. Number 2, write their names down. Number 3, tick their names off the list. That means invite them or ask a qualifying question if they're interested in the business. So follow those 3 simple rules. In fact, one important one is don't prejudge, and 2, write their names down. Okay? If you do that, you will find that my experience is that the people you actually think will not join the business are the ones who join the business. The people you think that, I think that guy is really fantastic, he sounds a good leader, will join the business, they don't join the business. So never prejudge anybody about whether they can join the business or not. So the first step is write a prospect list and use what is called a nameless generator. A nameless generator is a system that you can use to write names as many. For example, choose several careers or occupations. One that starts with A, accountants, B, business people, C, chemists, civil engineers, D, doctors, E, whatever it is. So use each alphabet, and under each alphabet, write down a career or an occupation. Under each occupation that you write down, write at least 3 to 4 to 5 names. Okay? If you do that, you will find that you're able to build a prospect list of 100 people or more very quickly. And secondly, I think most people who are attending this presentation have a cell phone. If you go to your contact list, you will find at least 3, 4, 5, or even 500 or even 1,000 people. The question is, have you spoken to all those people? So write a long prospect list. The second thing you need to do is invite them to see the business. I would suggest that the most effective and powerful way to introduce people to the business is first ask qualifying questions and start a conversation with people to get to know who they are. Because people will open their eyes and their ears and their heart to you if, the 1, they trust you, 2, they know you. Okay? If those 2 things are there, they're likely to open their hearts to you. So start a conversation with people. Maybe the first time you meet people, don't tell them about the business at all. Just start a conversation, exchange contacts. Later on, you can tell them, by the way, John, we met at the bank the other day. I'm running a business and we are expanding in your area. I don't know if you know anybody who can help us expand this business. That is indirect. Direct means, John, I'm running a business. Are you open to look at a way to generate extra income? So my suggestion is invite 3 to 5 people daily if you're doing the business, so that you set up appointments. 2 things. 1, either have a tool, or 2, just send them. A tool is something like a magazine or a CD or a video, or you can send them a link to a personalized website, their back office. The tool is there to show your prospect what the business is without explaining the details. Why? If you explain the details, they have no reason to come to the business opportunity presentation. The idea behind the invite is to arouse enough curiosity so that the prospect can come to the business opportunity presentation. So the goal is 3 to 5 people daily. If you are full-time, 5 to 8 people daily. You invite them for a business opportunity presentation or a one-on-one. Once you've invited them for the business opportunity presentation, if it's a physical meeting, a few things I would like to suggest. Number one, go there on time, and if possible, pick up your prospects and go with them. Okay? Because a lot of prospects, you confirm with somebody that they're coming, the last minute they're saying, no, I cannot come. So if you can, pick up your prospect and go with them to the business opportunity presentation. When you go to the meeting, if it's a face-to-face, contact meeting, I would suggest that you pay attention to the way you dress, because you are the advertisement of our business. If people buy into you, they're likely to buy into the business. So dress smart, casual, or dress business-like. During the presentation, most of you have had this presentation over 1,000 times. But show your excitement, whether you're old or new in the business, because when you're excited, your prospects is likely to be excited. When the speaker asks questions, get excited about the questions they ask. The reason you do that is to influence your prospect to have a good experience during the business presentation. Once the presentation is over, turn to your prospect and ask a very simple question. In fact, there are 4 questions. Did the business make sense to you? What did you like most about the business? Do you see yourself becoming, you see, I'm not saying you ask these questions one after another. Ask the question and wait for a response so that you can address if there's any doubt from the prospect. Okay? Those are called the 4 closing questions. Did the business make sense? What did you like most about the business? The product or the business part, or both, a bit of both. Then, do you see yourself getting started in the business? If you say yes, said, okay, it looks to me that you're ready to start the business. Here's the application form. Are you going to pay cash or by card or by M-Pesa if you're in a region where there's M-Pesa or mobile money? Okay. Some people may want to say, I want to think about it. Said, okay, when can I get in touch with you? And what issues would you like to think about? Is there something I need to clarify? Because remember, people want to make a decision, but the average person is not trained to make decisions instantly. It takes 5 to 8 times before people say yes. And the reason for that is the average person who reaches the age of 18 has heard the word no 148,000 times. So they are conditioned to say no. That's why you need to be very patient with your prospects to get a response from them and get a reply. And that's why you need to follow up 5 to 8 times. That's when people say yes or no, they come to a decision. So the follow-up, you need to be the king of follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up. And remember, you need to have a lot of people in the pipeline, because some people will say yes, some people will say no, some people will just keep you hanging, not making a decision. Then when that happens, the next stage is, if they say yes, arrange for their kids to buy their starter kit, arrange their kit opening, and take them through the first steps of building the business. If they said, no, I'm not interested, said, okay, you're not interested in the business. Do you know any people who would like to be successful in the business? Some people would gladly give you names. Some would just say, no, I don't know. Well, which is not true, because the average person knows, the average person who is 21 years old or more knows 2,000 people by the first name. Okay? Then some people just want to be customers to use the products. When the person says yes, they want to start, then you have them follow the same process again that you just followed. They write their prospect list of 100 plus people. You teach them how to invite, to show them which tools are useful in the business. They invite their prospect to do the business opportunity presentation, follow up, and then kit. It goes like that as you build depth and width in your business. That is what the sponsoring process is. It's work, yes. If you want to succeed in a business, it involves work, it involves talking to people. And that leads me to something called duplication. What is duplication? I think duplication is a transfer of skill, knowledge, and attitude to people in your team so that they can become successful. I'm sure most people who are attending, maybe I am prejudging. A number of people who are attending this presentation are parents, okay? And if you're a parent, it takes 21 years to duplicate yourself in your child. It takes 21 years to raise an adult who becomes independent and can function on their own. That is duplication, okay? So if you're a parent, you probably know this by instinct, that if you're going to teach your children how to be adults, assume they're adults whom you are raising up. Don't assume you are raising children. You are raising adults. That means you need to teach them the basics of how to live, simple hygiene, good nutrition, having daily routines, having good manners, learning how to speak, learning to do arithmetic. All these things is a duplication process. What you're doing, you are raising other adults in your household. In our business, we are raising other directors in our group, and that is why it is important to understand what duplication is. A few things that I'd like to mention about duplication. One, it's a process of transferring skill, knowledge, and attitude to become successful, okay? It's called the ASK principle, A for attitude, K for knowledge, and S for skill. So you transfer what you know, what you do, and the reason you're doing them to a new distributor in your team. The second thing about duplication is simplicity. Keep the business simple. Our business is very simple. What I have learned is that many people who come to this business and they use traditional methods of building the business get very frustrated because this business does not follow the logic of normal business. It doesn't at all. Okay? So keep the business simple. Do the basics: name list, invite, business opportunity presentation, follow up, get started. You follow the same process. The third thing you need to do is consistency in doing the basics. That is actually what builds the business. It's called the income producing activities. You need to be consistent in doing the basics. If you do that, the people in your team will begin to copy what you do. The fourth thing is you need to work yourself out of a job. What does that mean? It means that when you start people off in the business, the first 2 weeks, they should be able to know how to order products. They should be able to know what the business terms are, PV, BV, all those things. The next thing is you need to begin teaching them how to do the basics. I would suggest this criteria. Number one, you do while they watch. Number two, both of you do at the same time. Number three, they do while you watch. Number four, you let them do while you monitor and encourage them to be leaders by themselves. It appears a simple process, but it's not easy. You have to be very patient with people in your team if you sponsor somebody. And that is why in human life, it takes 21 years to raise an adult. Our business also, I don't know what the gestation time in our business is. Some people learn faster, some people learn slower, okay? But the idea is to work yourself out of a job. You need to teach your people. I remember when we started the business, Hansi used to tell us, do not do for your downline, do not do for your success line what they can do for themselves. If you follow that basic principle, you will find that you're beginning to delegate activities and skills and knowledge to your success line that you don't have to do for them. If somebody is a manager or a senior manager, don't order products on their behalf. Let them do it themselves. Okay, so work yourself out of a job by doing what? Delegation. Number 5 is building width and depth. That is really where the core of duplication is. Width means that you do the 4 basics: name list, you invite, you show the business, and then follow up to sponsor people in the business. The ones you sponsor directly under you, you're building width. But you see, you need to know why you are doing what you're doing. Why do you sponsor people in the business? You sponsor people in the business to build a director. That means to build depth, if you sponsor one person, you teach them to do what you've done. If they sponsor somebody else, you teach the second person to do. You keep going deep in each leg. I would suggest you need to go 5 to 7 levels deep as quickly as possible, but the goal is to have each leg at least 12 to 14 levels deep. If you go 12 to 14 levels deep, you're likely to find 3 to 4 leaders. That is just average, okay? Sometimes you may be lucky the first 4 people you sponsor in each leg become leaders. So you need to balance between building width and building depth. Building width gives you potential volume. Building depth gives you volume. That's where your real leadership comes in, because you see, you will earn more money if you build more directors in different legs. That's how our compensation plan is done. So the duplication process happens when you teach your people how to build width and build depth. The last thing is check your daily habits. I don't know how this happens, but when you slow down in the business, when you don't take this business seriously, the people in your team, even without speaking to you, they can sense that something is not going wrong, is not going right. Okay? So check one, the books you read. Number 2, the audio and CDs that you listen to. Number 3, the income producing activities. That is speaking to prospects, speaking to customers, speaking to your team members and teaching them to do what you are doing. Daily, if your future is hidden in the things you do every single day. If you do the things that you need to do every day, your business will grow without any doubt. So those are a few ideas about duplication. And I think the key thing about our business is duplication. If you learn how to duplicate, if you learn how to transfer yourself or your skills to your people, you will find that your business grows. You know, every time I'm reading and thinking, I know that somewhere Joshua and Piero's Karaoke are doing a wonderful job. I know that Grace Chege is doing a wonderful job in Kenya. I know that Oloo, Toby, and Fagbemi are doing a wonderful job in Nigeria, because these are people who have learned how to build a business that they actually don't need my direct help to grow their business. If you have many people in your team doing that, then know you've done a good job. It means you've duplicated yourself well in the people that are building the business. And that is what we would like to do. I mean, think about Charlie Bolton. Charlie Bolton has in excess of 20 legs which qualify every single month. His business is doing, since 1987 up to now, he has qualified as a 5-diamond director every single month. Why? Because he is the master of duplication. He has mastered how to transfer attitude, skill, and knowledge to people in his team. That should be the goal of each one of us. If we do that, we're going to rest very well. We are going to have very good sleep. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for spending this evening with Betty and myself. And the month is still very young. There's a lot of work to do for the month of August. So I wish you the very best to achieve your goals for the month of August. So I want to hand over back to Fred to close our meeting, and I want to thank you all very much.
Thank you, Pascal, for that very awesome session. And we truly appreciate it. And from us here, we are just grateful for the session that you've done for us. And for our distributors, let's get back on track. I know especially in Kenya, we've been sidetracked a bit because of the elections, but let's get back. Business is booming. Everybody is back to business. Let's go for it. This will be your best month ever. Just go out with belief. Apply the principles that Pascal has talked about. Those are the principles that have grown us. When I joined the business, that is what my sponsor taught me in 1996. So I can tell you the principles that he has talked about work. Just apply them, go for it, and success is yours. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. Have a restful night.
Good night, Fred.
Good night.